Men's Basketball Weekly Update, along with the head coach of the Jackrabbits, Eric Henderson. A 1-1 week this past week. One big game coming up on Wednesday night. Let's dive right into it. And in these two games, a number of individual performances that stand out against North Dakota with injuries and whatnot. Matt Mims, Lou Dillon both play big roles. And you overcome a slow start for a very impressive run late in the first half to a nice win over UND.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, Tyler. I think we started 2 for 15, but even though we started that way, I was really, really happy with how things were going. We were still playing with the purpose that we were getting the ball in the right spots. It just felt like there was a lid on the basket, and we were hoping eventually that it would come off, and it certainly did. I think we went on a 19-0 run, and were able to stretch that lead out, and our crowd got behind us, and we were able to play with a bunch of energy. And then, like you said in the second half, whether it was injuries, foul trouble, we had a couple guys that maybe haven't seen a bunch of time yet this year really step up. And as a coach, that certainly makes you proud, because the role that those guys are in is not always easy, but the class and the character that Matt and Lou and Owen showed in the minutes they played, as a coach, you're just so proud of those guys, because it's not easy. And when they do get their number called, they deliver. That's a pretty special moment.
Let's talk about Sunday, the South Dakota Showdown Series presented by South Dakota Corn. Let us begin with the positives. Offensively put up some great numbers. Matt Dentlinger career highs in points and assists. Phenomenal day for him.
Yeah, obviously Matt was absolutely tremendous, and without with Douglas not playing, we knew that Matt would probably have a little bit more of the load as far as the touches that he got down there on the block. But for him to be able to produce like he did, 26 points, 7 assists, and no turnovers, is certainly a dynamic performance, and really proud of Matt. But unfortunately, there are two sides of the basketball, Tyler.
And as we'll bring up here next, defensively, you were not thrilled with how everything played out, and you've been very adamant from the beginning. Part of it's how you drew things up. Part of it's the execution. There's blame to go all around.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I think, it's certainly there is blame to go all around. We weren't sharp, and I thought it was maybe more mentally than physically, and that was probably the most frustrating part. And is whether you win or lose, you're going to take this opportunity as a learning moment. And as I reflected on that situation and what the situation that I put our guys in, I was really disappointed in myself. We started out, we started 3 freshmen and 2 sophomores, and we're playing without Douglas Wilson, probably our best player. And so I just felt like our guys, I put too much on their plate. We changed too much stuff up, and at the end of the day, our guys were thinking and not just playing. And when you have to think out there, you're not playing confident, and we certainly weren't confident on the defensive end.
Should be pointed out, though, you mentioned the injuries you've dealt with. USD's dealt with that. It finally was healthy, really, for the first time all year on Sunday, and that showed for the Coyotes.
Yeah, there's no doubt. They've been working Tristan Simpson back in, and he's a big part of their success as the last 2 years. You can look at what he's done for them and how he turned their season around a little bit last year, and when he's healthy, what he can do this year. So they're getting healthier, and I think we're trending in a better direction in that sense, too.
Well, let's talk about the direction you're headed. Final game of the first half of conference play coming up on Wednesday night against North Dakota State. Before we discuss the Bison, let's talk about the fact that you will not have the dapper dress shoes on tomorrow night.
Yeah, no doubt. It's Coaches versus Cancer week for all of college basketball, so I think you'll see that on TV, and you'll certainly see it in Frost Arena. Certainly want to, bring awareness to people that have been affected by that terrible disease, which are many. And so it's just a small token of what we can do, and certainly a special deal.
Meeting North Dakota State is unique because you were an assistant coach for Dave Richmond for a number of years, and now you get to match up with him, head coach against head coach.
Yeah, it will be a little bit unique. I certainly have a lot of respect for Dave and what he's done with that program up there and how he runs his program. Certainly, high character dude that I have a lot of respect for, and it'll be a unique situation being across the benches from each other, but I think there's a mutual respect as well.
Tell you what, if anybody's in the running for Summit League Player of the Year, Tyson Ward is definitely in that mix right now with how he's playing. Nearly a triple-double in the victory against North Dakota on Sunday, going back to earlier in the week. He played phenomenal against USD and had a game-winning layup with less than 2 seconds left. He is playing at an incredibly high level.
Yeah, there's no doubt. He's playing as good as anybody in the league, and that's what seniors do. You know, he's an upperclassman, has been around a long time, but they're very balanced as well. You know, they do a good job of getting Tyson the basketball, but obviously Vinny has the ball in his hands a lot, and you know, he's very dynamic as well. And then they do a great job of, you know, spacing because they got guys that can shoot it around him, and so we'll have our hands full with Tyson and their whole crew.